Welcome back. I know it's been a while and a lot's changed, but it's time to show you guys what's happened to the GT4. And today it's also time to say goodbye to the GT4. And when I say goodbye, I'm not getting rid of it, but it's time to conclude this project and show you guys what's been done over the years, because a lot has changed. A lot. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, so a lot's changed. We got a new gear, a lot more clearer than the last setup. We got a basically new car, and I got somewhat a new haircut compared to that mop I had. So it's a lot's changed, and you're probably wondering how long has it actually been? So it's actually been about 2 to 3 years since we've worked on this. And it's a little sad that I haven't really done a video since, but unfortunately life just gets in the way. And this is my opportunity to get back into it now. I've got all the right gear, all the right connections, and all the right sort of knowledge, you could say. It's time to get back into it. So looking at this thing, straight away you can see a lot has changed with this. And yes, this is the same Celica that we started off with. That same one that was just abandoned and just left there with bones in it and mismatched panels, and the interior was horrible and whatnot. But here it is, it's all in one color. Now, what's changed? What's actually happened in this time? Now, obviously, during this time, I haven't been able to get the camera out, but I have still recorded a few tiny things over the years that have happened to it. Now, the first major thing that did happen to it, when we got it out of the garage with good old Adam and Ben, thank you, boys, can't thank you enough. Those guys are a big help. I still keep in contact with them. That's not here today. And I still got a cough. Now, the first thing that we noticed was that fourth gear actually went. Now, obviously we weren't driving the vehicle, we couldn't drive the vehicle, but as soon as it was to a driving sort of situation, fourth gear just would not engage. So therefore we found that we actually needed a new gearbox. So we sourced a new gearbox, and I didn't have the knowledge to replace an all-wheel drive gearbox, so that was a bit too much for me. So we took it to a guy in Toowoomba who specialised in that, and he replaced the new gearbox that we supplied with a brand new clutch and flywheel. And here we are. So now the gearbox feels awesome. That was the first major thing that was done. Then the second thing that we got done was actually new windscreen. So I don't know if you guys remember how cracked this thing was, but brand new windscreen has been put in, which is nice. No cracks in there. And then all the, all that, it's nice because that was actually quite badly damaged. So that's all been replaced. Now the next thing we got done, which I was actually going to show you guys in the last video, but I didn't do that because that last video was pretty bad. It's just me cleaning it. And these wheels. Now these wheels actually came from my uncle. They're just a replica wheel, Hustler brand. Quite nice, bit big. 18s on the Celica isn't probably ideal, but made it work. Now the other thing that was done is the BC coilovers. So we do have BC coilovers in this now all round. Used to have the standard suspension, which was quite how you going, but this is now a lot better and a lot better to drive, which is good. So just little things that were just shot, which were just gone, has been replaced with much better things, which is awesome. Now, the other big thing that you've obviously noticed is the paint. Now there's obviously not mismatched panels and everything's one color. Now I thought when we got this painted that it would actually be a lot lighter in color, but this is the factory color apparently, well, that we know of, that the painter gave us anyway. It's a lot darker gray. It's not black, it's a very dark gray, and it's really nice, really nice. So this was done, I think, with a year and a bit ago, and yeah, it's really nice. It's really changed the whole look of the car, because obviously the mismatched panels was a bit disgusting. And in that process, little bumps and dents have been fixed up in that process. And yeah, like as you can see, it looks pretty awesome. And then if you come to the back of the car has had a whole entire, well, not whole entire, but it just really brings out the color of it. So the other thing I did actually do in this time was I actually sprayed parts of this car, like that front guard that was originally red. I actually sprayed that, remember this was a different Celica front guard. I gave it a go and I sprayed the boot wing, which didn't look too bad, but like doesn't beat a fresh spray job. So that's all nicely done. All the stuff on the boot's all nice. It's really cool. It's really come together. And I'll just pop the bay and I'll show you what's going on in there. Now obviously not much has changed here, but I don't know if you guys remember how horrible this used to look. Oh, that's hot. Alright, so we still haven't got a cover for the fuse box, but everything else works really efficiently. All that boost T, all those sort of vacuum lines going everywhere was just horrific, and that's gone. Got the blow off valve, the HKS one, disconnected because that just again wasn't efficient. But yeah, it just works, it runs. The next thing for this car would really be getting it tuned, like making sure everything's running efficiently. But the biggest thing that we've started to notice is that it's all these tiny things are starting to go, like the like all the mainly servicing. There's a bearing that needed replaces on one of the where the accessory belt goes. All the tiny things that really need replacing are just starting to come up. But apart from that, like, it's just a typical car. It's got a brand new radiator as well. That's been replaced because that was slightly leaking. And all these little tiny bits that have been really good. And yeah, we've got little camber plates for all four of the coilovers, which is even better. But yeah, like, it's cool because this car is now an A to B car. Like, you can just use it, you can drive it, it sounds cool, does the thing. And yeah, but the other big thing is we got some cool plates. So GT4 90, so 1990 was it when it was made, GT4, but pretty cool, man. But yeah, it's crazy to think how much has actually changed on this car. In this sort of, it's been a few years, which is fair enough. But it's good to see that this is done. This is one of the first cars that's like properly being able to see that it was literally a barn find to now being a proper car that can drive from A to B. So GT4, registered, all registered. So that was the whole process, fixing those parts, getting it registered, then getting it painted, and going through that whole process, which was really good fun. But inside is pretty much the same. All the little parts have just been replaced. It's got dash mat and all that sort of stuff in there, all the typical stuff, but all those little panels that were missing have all been sort of replaced. So there was a few parts there that probably still need a bit shoving and replacing, but like it's just, you can do that whenever, you know. It's still a functioning car that you can sit, drive, enjoy. It's got the new head unit in it now, you know, not the old radio. So it's just, it works. It just does its thing. So, which is pretty crazy considering how it used to look. And I'm glad that you guys are able to see how it used to look and function and how I used to look and how I used to function. Now it's all working and it's really cool. So this is sort of the end for this car. I hope you've enjoyed these last couple of years. If you've been watching from the beginning, you're pretty wild. But yeah, what a car. So now this is done, we're on to another Toyota. Now it's sort of this guy's younger cousin, you could say. So now we've done this Toyota, got to go to the next. And you're probably wondering about the Skyline, but you'll find out later. So, thanks. Thank you. Thank you. And looks like we're getting back into YouTube. So let's do it. So this is it, day one, super build.
Oh, let's count the days down. Oh, we already know the day.
Yeah.